everyone. Welcome to So Stipulated, a legal podcast focused on the modern world of law, especially the ever-changing employment law landscape here in California, hosted by yours truly, Gabrielle Gordon, and my co-host, Alexis Gamliel. I'm an employment law attorney, counselor, and litigator at a large national law firm located in Los Angeles, California. I defend employers against employee claims and lawsuits involving discrimination, harassment, retaliation, wrongful termination, breach of contract, wage and hour violations. I provide advice and counsel to corporations to ensure that they're complying with California law and to hopefully prevent litigation and vigorously defend my clients in active litigation whenever they're sued by current or former employees.
And I'm Alexis Gamliel, and I'm on the opposite side of the V, as we say in the legal field. I'm a California plaintiff's personal injury and employment attorney and a fervent women's rights advocate. I'm the founder and principal trial attorney of Gamliel Law, my own law firm based right here in Los Angeles. In my employment law practice, I focus on cases arising from discrimination, harassment, retaliation, and wrongful termination. And over the years, I've developed a niche practice hyper-focused on representing women in pregnancy discrimination and sexual harassment cases.
So why is this podcast called So Stipulated? For those listeners who are not attorneys, a stipulation is a formal legal agreement. This podcast is founded on the principle that, while we love a good banter, as attorneys representing opposite sides, we can always agree on one thing, no matter what it is we are discussing, whether it's a thought-provoking legal issue, different approaches to discovery or depositions, or our differing views on a case in the news.
So Stipulated is all about finding that common ground, even though we represent opposite sides. It's about finding at least one thing on which we can agree, despite some healthy disagreements along the way. On this podcast, you can expect a discussion of hot-button legal issues, litigation tips and tools, employment law issues presently occurring in California, and a candid conversation between us, attorneys on opposite sides of the aisle.
From me, you can expect to learn practical tips, tricks, and best practices for employers, human resources professionals, and in-house counsel to avoid litigation or what to do once you're involved in active litigation. In layperson's terms, I will share my insight into how to both prevent and clean up legal messes.
From me, you can expect to learn your rights as an employee, my perspective on what makes a strong employment law case, and get a glimpse into some of the meaningful cases that I handle in my practice.
We'd also like to make the following disclaimer, because of course we would, we're lawyers.
All podcast episodes provide general information and do not constitute legal advice to any person with respect to any circumstance. This podcast does not create an attorney-client relationship with any person, and all opinions are reflected as our own.
Submit your questions to the podcast to sostipulated1@gmail.com and follow this podcast on Instagram at So Stipulated. Personal contact for me, Gabrielle Gordon, and my co-host, Alexis Gamliel, is in the show notes. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep complying with the law.
So Stipulated.